Welcome to episode 91 of the Nerd Rundown podcast. Coming up this week on the big show, our heroes in a half shell are back in the trailer for the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Captain America himself, Chris Evans, is back on the screen with Ana de Armas in the debut trailer for Ghosted. Jake Gyllenhaal is looking ripped in the behind-the-scenes shots of the upcoming Roadhouse reboot. Finally, Meg drops a great Nerdbox question about our favorite stuff that we hate to watch. Ready? Hit it!
Hey nerds, welcome back to the Nerd Rundown podcast, where we cover the latest in the nerd world of movies, TV, and more. I'm Darren Stemple. With me here today is my co-pilot, Eric Hare.
Hello, everybody.
It better be fancy or it better be grim.
Yeah.
And also we have Morgan Santo.
Howdy, y'all.
If you are gonna bypass
We'll
that
try
one.
something different next week.
On the next season of
It actually fits Morgan very well to be in that
preparing for
moment.
my walk-on scene in Yellowstone.
Yeah, please, can you go on there and promote the show so that people can go online, like and subscribe wherever you see fit. If you're an audio only person, you can find us on all the major podcast services. But we also really appreciate when you leave your comments and your Nerdbox questions. I got a good one from Meg later on in the show. But before we get to a jam-packed rundown, let's hear a word about our sponsor, Combat the Chaos. Hey, nerds, do you support your veterans and first responders? Well, here at the Nerd Rundown, we support our heroes. And not just the heroes that you see behind me that are drawn to wear a cape or throw a shield, but the real heroes who would lay their lives down so that we can talk about whatever kind of nerd we are. At the Nerd Rundown, our new sponsor, Combat the Chaos, is a veteran-owned clothing company. They donate portions of all their profits to veteran and first responder supporting organizations that are focused on mental health and suicide prevention. Veterans are at a 57% higher risk of suicide instead of those who have not served. This shirt is one of the items you can purchase if you follow our link to find them on Instagram at combat.the.chaos, or at their website, combatthechaos.com. And use the code NRD for 15% off. Now, back to the Nerd Rundown. Did you guys watch the season premiere of Mandalorian?
I did.
I did not.
Okay. Morgan. Oh, dang it.
I know, right?
Oh, Eric.
Do we discuss it? Are we not allowed to discuss it?
Feel free. It's just the first episode. I'm not gonna.
It wasn't a lot of big
Nothing really like
reveals or anything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it felt good to have Mandalorian back on my screen again. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
My only question is, how tough was he? Like, that's really what I want to know.
Listen, Mando is tough.
Is
All
this?
right. Mando
I just want
is
to know
tough.
his tough on a scale of like,
Yeah.
you know,
Mando
Jack from Will and Grace to
Yep.
like
Just Jack.
yeah to
Yeah.
like
I'll
Bruce
say
Willis
a shout out
and
to
Die Hard. You know,
Who
a
where are
YouTube
we?
commenter who mentioned the Punisher. Mando
Yeah.
is the Punisher. All right.
Yeah,
That's
All right.
and I love it.
Yeah.
No, it was a fun episode. I enjoyed it. I mean, there's a lot of like things that just don't make sense throughout the entire episode. You know,
Like what?
like how they're doing that, the ritual in the water with the kid who's like up to his
Yeah.
knees, but then that skyscraper of an alligator pops up 10 feet behind him. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out the drop off from beach to just void. You know what I mean? I was like, that doesn't make sense. And then like these highly trained Mandalorians with their long range weapons are just 2 feet away from the alligator, shooting it and just getting eaten and beat up. Like, fly away a little bit, then shoot it, or go to the cave it can't fit in and just hide, let it leave.
Oh, well, maybe it wasn't room. Who knows?
And apparently the Mandalorians don't play video games because everybody knows you throw the bomb inside of the mouth of the
not on
giant,
top of the armor.
not on the armor. Come on, that's
Yeah.
video game 101.
Well, I think there was some definitely some big foreshadowing going on in that scene. I think there's going to be a scene of Grogu having that happen later on in the season. I just have that feeling. And then there's just some symbolism there. It's what it's we're going to get a lot of Mandalorian on Mandalorian action, but just a lot of Mandalorian action throughout the season. And it was just giving you a little bit of taste of everything that they can do.
It's weird. And, for the Mandalorian viewers out there listening that did not see Boba Fett, how confused were you at the beginning episode? Did you go, wait a minute, why is he with him?
That was really poor of them.
Why did he get kicked out?
At least put it in the recap, and they didn't.
I know,
in the
not
recap.
even in the recap. They just were like, hey, whatever.
Oh, I know. I got multiple people reaching out to me that night and the next night when they were watching it. I was just like, why? I thought Luke had Grogu.
I'm so confused.
Oh,
wait,
yeah,
why does he need that
poor.
robot that doesn't even make sense that it can work?
However, I feel like we're complaining a lot about it, but I was happy the entire time watching.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I enjoyed it. I had fun.
Yeah.
I laughed, with Grogu and stuff. Like,
oh yeah,
the cheesy stuff where they're just, trying to market toys. Like, I laughed. I enjoyed it. I was like, yeah, I'm one of those suckers.
Dude, give me all the Baby Yoda. Okay. Every single scene, even the scenes where he's just like, he's just like,
I know, he's just looking around. Like,
but the best thing about the episode was they brought back the species from the best part of Rise of Skywalker, the Babu Frick character, but that the species of that character, and how they're like droid smiths and really good at working on droids.
I'll ask you a real quick question about it.
Yeah.
Why does he need that robot?
Well, why does he need IG-11?
Yeah, like he says he wants that one, but then they determine the only way to fix it is to change out its like memory unit.
Yeah.
So like he's just gonna bring back a normal robot at that point. It's what I mean?
And he can program it from there. And
I feel like it would just be easier to just buy one, right?
Yeah, but you have to remember
Mando
was very very anti-droid, and this is the one droid that changed his changed his mind on what droids are, and so it's the only droid he trusts.
But the thing is, the droid he's going to get is not the same droid because they got to change out its processing unit. It'll be, but it'll still be a factory droid. You know what I mean?
The droid have a soul? Is that what you're getting into right there? So it's the same droid.
No,
no, they don't have.
Not even C-3PO. Take
that. They're kind of like gingers. No, I'm just. Anyway, watch Mando. It's
careful.
A lot of fun. He needs IG-11 to test because they believe that Mandalore, the home planet of the Mandalorians, is poisoned, and so the surface is poisoned. They need a robot to go and test it, and because it would be likely immune to those effects. That's why. Let's get to the rundown. First on the rundown, we got our first look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem from the permanent teenager Seth Rogen, which that part made me laugh out loud. Eric, what were your thoughts on our first look at a new TMNT franchise?
I thought I really liked the animation style. I'm not we all know I'm not a huge animation guy, but I did like the colors, and I liked the animation style. I thought it was really good. I thought it was pretty funny too. Everything was really good. I saw a bunch of stuff online where people were throwing a little bit of shade at the April O'Neil character, but I was like, she's
whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I didn't really bother me one way or the other. What they're doing with that character. And I actually thought the stuff that they were putting on there was fairly cruel because even though it's just an animated character, you don't need to bag on people for maybe being a little bigger than others. Like not everybody's going to be a 110-pound person and all that or whatever. So I don't know. I felt that kind of criticism was a little just unnecessary and just
undeserved.
probably mean spirited. People just being mean, and so I liked it. Prior to this, I had zero hype. I really had zero hype for this, and now watching it, I'm like, well, especially after I was reading something the other day on the Babylon Bee. It's one of my favorites to read. They were saying that after the Ohio train disaster, that some local turtles had started eating pizza and performing martial arts, and I thought, I was like, perfect timing for this trailer. Seems like they're already ready to go. So
that was good. Yep.
I think my favorite thing from this trailer is that Splinter is clearly going to have an afro.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's awesome. When he came flipping in, I was like, that's great. I think this is going to be a fun movie. I mean, I cracked up as soon as Donatello screamed when the sign was in his leg. I lost it. I thought that was hilarious. So
Ace Ventura 2.
I'm looking forward to taking Mike into this one. I think this will be a fun one.
The animation style is different, but it still feels like it's very much influenced by Spider-Man across or Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, and also soon to be across the Spider-Verse as well.
Which Eric has yet to watch.
Eric,
I know.
Get on that one.
It's a magical movie.
It really is. You get so many feels in that.
It's so good.
So good.
We'll actually talk a little bit more about that here in a bit, but I felt like this animation style was influenced a bit by
Definitely.
that, and it was really cool. And the perfect end scene. It's not goo. It's ooh.
Ooze.
Yeah.
that part
was pretty fun.
Great. I was like, okay, I could feel the camaraderie between the voice cast in that, and that's a very big.
Well, they got actual teenagers, so
that does help.
That helps. It's buds being buds, like they're friends being friends, and it works.
Yeah. The whole rundown is bookended by big time trailers, and next on the rundown is a trailer for a movie that we've talked about actually probably several times on this show. Ghosted, starring Chris Evans, Captain America himself, and Ana de Armas in an action rom-com called Ghosted, which is a new age term, I guess, that kids are saying these days. Start with you, Morgan. This first started off with ScarJo in the role. Upgrade with Ana de Armas? Yes or no?
Yeah, definitely. I know that's very shallow, but yeah. No, this actually looks fun. Like, I guess I didn't really know what to expect with this, and how it was going to look and turn out.
Action rom-com doesn't give the best
I'm like,
vibes.
where are they going to go with this? Especially with the way the trailer opened. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is nice. It's going to be a big romantic thing. Right. And then they kick into it. I'm like, all right, this is going to be a lot of fun. Like, this is going to be a good movie. And I'm calling it now. Chris Evans is definitely something. Right. He was fighting way too well in this trailer for somebody that's like just
I didn't think we got a good look at
whatever he was.
It's funny that you say that, because I was watching this and I was thinking to myself, what's the male version of Mary Sue? Like, because everybody always complains about the Mary Sue, like the girl who just starts and all of a sudden
Ray Skywalker. What?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like the Ray situation. So,
and that's true. Maybe that's what they are doing.
Yeah, and that's what this feels like. I watched this and I'm like, okay, well, Chris Evans is like a fish out of water, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden, like towards the end of the trailer, it's like the dude's been a special operator for like years, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? And I think they preface it in the trailer by saying, what if he's a counter intel agent or something like that, and then all of a sudden in the trailer he starts fighting like a total badass and stuff. And so I don't know. I was like, I'm going to be equally as upset if it turns out that he's like a total Mary Sue, like a male Mary Sue. He just all of a sudden becomes like a badass and stuff.
Yeah.
But he's still going to need her to bail him out, I guess, or whatever. So.
I hope he stays a dweeb, like he's
right. Yeah.
But he was like a smooth dweeb, so.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, man, if you, in all, not that I've ever done this myself, but do not, if you've left 5 text messages and they haven't responded, stop digging. Like, just stop.
It's over.
Like, they showed that one thing for his phone and it was just like all blue or whatever it was. And I was like,
it was like,
I'm like, hey, bro, you need to hand the phone.
He's in London.
You need to hand the phone to a friend and just have them hold on to it for you until things pass. So yeah.
It was didn't some comedian do a bit about women spies and how they just don't make sense? And he goes, the reason being, he goes, in this example, picture Ana de Armas walking up to you as a security guard and just flirts with you a little bit. Are you not going to give in to her? Like, what man is going to go, oh, no. Well, no, I shouldn't do this. It's like
with a face like this, if Ana de Armas comes up to me and starts flirting with me like that, I'm gonna know something's up like right away, because there's there is a negative
or I'm actually dead.
Negative percentage chance that she's gonna be like, hey, look at that guy.
Don't sell yourself short like that, Eric.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks. Yeah.
I was just going, I know you're going to kill me, but I guess
right.
All right.
Very, very, very fun trailer. Looks like a very fun movie. Banana and I, we just watched that Reese Witherspoon and Ashton Kutcher one on Netflix, and that was really good. That was really funny. If you need if you need a good one that you can also enjoy yourself, there you go. It's Your Place or Mine. Netflix.
Oh, that's right. That's where he's her best friend or something like that. But they live on opposite coasts. He's in California, she's in New York or something like that. And they swap or something like that. And she's got a kid or something along those lines or whatever. I think is.
I mean, you almost said the whole movie.
Yeah. Wow.
I do remember that trailer, and I remember thinking to myself, "Oh, that'd be a good movie to watch with Stace." And then I promptly, like anything else, promptly went right out of my head.
Yeah.
But nothing replaced it.
Nothing.
Nothing replaced it. It was
it's gone.
And we're just left here sitting like this. Like, what am I doing right now? Fun trailer. Looks like a fun movie. Comes out April 21st on Apple Plus.
Prominently features the Apple phones in the in the show.
From Apple Plus, we go to Disney Plus. Disney is thinking about selling Hulu. And so what would be the fallout of that? And few pieces here to cover all at once. So think about it in this terms. Okay. If Disney Plus does sell the rights to Hulu, they own 67% of Hulu. Comcast owns 33%, and Comcast owns Universal, which owns the rights to the Hulk and Namor.
Namor.
Still trying to figure out how to not say Namor. Anyway, so those are the last two big characters that are not owned by Disney, and so they would the rights would revert to Disney at that time. Hulu is valued at 20 to 28 billion with a B dollars. Who's going to pick that up?
Are they profitable?
When I saw that valuation, I was like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I don't know of any streaming service other than Netflix that's actually profitable. So I'm curious how you get that valuation.
Well, Hulu does also have like Hulu TV. So that might help.
Yeah. That might help. Yeah.
Now, did you say Hulk and Namor would go back to Disney?
They would, yes.
Okay, so
how would that be if So Disney owns 60%.
So
why
So
can't
it-
Disney
the-
use them?
Sorry, I was getting there. So the two options for Disney is, do they buy out Comcast altogether, or and they just own 100% of it, and then they can do whatever they want. They can take what they need. Or do they just sell the rights to Hulu, and the rights do not revert back to Disney for the Hulk and
so they don't get Hulk anymore. Okay.
there's a
would
weird
make more
like
sense.
I
way
see.
that
So it's like a
still-
negotiation. So basically, they're going to say, Disney's going to say, "Hey, I'll sell you all of
Yeah.
Hulu, but I want Hulk
But-
and I want Namor
Yep.
in the deal."
That's it.
And
I
that's
was like, it's in my brain somewhere. You got it.
yeah,
You pulled
okay.
it out.
All right.
I'd like for Hulu to be sold. That way, it's just another competition against, like Disney. Like, I do like Disney, but they have a lot. It's nice to be a little more competition, but and who knows what they could do with, if they. And it would be nice for Disney. It would be nice for Disney to have Hulk in there. At least Hulk, and maybe we can get some good Hulks. A good Hulk movie.
Yeah.
I did watch
Here's a
Black
weird
Panther,
twist.
the Black Panther, and I finally got to see Namor in that one, and
Here's the best
I
part
was
about that movie.
underwhelmed by that villain. I really was.
Oh,
I think. I mean,
I thought he was the best part about that movie.
Well, he did all right, but I just felt underwhelmed by the villain.
In theory, they were both bad groups, thinking they were righteous about stuff, but really they're both kind of wrong,
Yeah.
fighting each other.
But I do love the Hulk roller coaster at Universal Studios. I will tell you that. That is a fun
That is a
roller
fun
coaster.
ride.
So,
Yeah.
Here's a weird twist. So Disney Plus owns Hulu, right? Or owns a majority, but you can't find any Hulu content on Disney Plus,
right.
and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
So if they do buy out Hulu all the way and own all of it, then they can finally start putting stuff on each platform. So at least each platform gets more content that way.
Yeah, I wonder how that would play out though, because
I have that. I
subscribe.
subscribe to that 3-pack that they have, ESPN, Disney Plus, and Hulu.
And Hulu.
And I cannot tell you
never
the last
opened
time I
Hulu.
turned Hulu on and watched anything on it, with the exception of the Predator movie. I think that was the only one that I watched that was on Hulu.
I watch Hulu pretty regularly.
Do you?
You do?
So, but I
Was
watch
there-
it to catch up on like sometimes like I just like to have Bob's Burgers on because I haven't, I'll be like, oh, you know what? I haven't watched that in a while. Let me put that on. Like I like having that on. Or
I don't
right
even know what's
now-
on there.
right now we're actually going through the OC again. So
Oh.
Well,
Is that going to
the
be your
OC 's
answer to
the
the
OC
question
is good.
later? Are we going to
No,
talk about
the
that
OC
later?
is good.
Okay, just
right there.
That's an
Yeah.
all-time banger.
yeah, the OC is good.
I've
never
fallen
finished-
back in
never
love
finished
with
the whole thing.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine recently.
I want to get back into that.
Brooklyn
I want to get back into that. I see. This is though why I'm like, I get to watch the now TV shows. I don't, because I stopped watching old shows, and I feel like there's a lot of new shows to watch, like Andor.
Yeah.
What's that? Never heard of it. Does Hulu get there as well?
Moving on in the rundown, we have a Spider-Man Across the Spideyverse category. A few updates here. They casted Spider-Man India in the movie to be voiced by Karan Soni. I hope I'm saying that right. Who you may know as Dopender, the taxi cab driver from Deadpool. Hilarious guy.
He is really funny.
There was a report that we even reported on a few weeks ago in like one of our big Nick Cage episodes, that Nick Cage's Spider-Man Noir isn't going to be returning for the sequel, and now reports are saying that it is. And now one scoop is coming out and saying that the people that have seen the movie are saying it's even better than the first, which won the award for the best animated movie. It's going to be hard to top that first one. So I'll start with the man who's seen it. Morgan. I know it's a big
I'm surprised
big thing in your house, this movie.
Doctor Strange didn't go back in time, so Multiverse of Madness can win that year as well and everything. But anyway, this movie, I mean, all of this is good news. So like,
Yeah.
I'm happy. Yeah, I mean, if Nick Cage's Spider-Man Noir isn't in it, like, all right, like I'll live. You know, it's not like I need him, but just to have him in there for a little bit, especially in that scene in the trailer with hundreds of Spider-Men coming after him, like I think that would be, even if he's in there. And then I mean, come on, Dopinder from Deadpool, he is a very, very funny guy. So and that's, I wonder if he'll have a big role. Do we know, or are they just, he might have a line or two and he got cast.
I mean, I already have so many Spideys in this movie. I know, it could be just a simple line. They even say that they might reference No Way Home in this, whereas they say Doctor Strange and the nerdy one messed it all up or something. That was another scoop that I saw today, but
that would be cool. And I can see
that'd be really cool.
I mean, as long as they, even if they just copy the same style, like the same thematic, the script, but put it in a new movie, I will. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So if it's better, I can't wait to see this. Eric, you got to see this.
The way I've always explained it is you're like watching a comic.
Mm-hmm.
When you have read comics in the past and you're reading it and it's a still, they're not moving in the comic, but in your mind, they're, Captain punching a Red Skull. You're imagining that. And then Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is like watching it, like actually happening.
They brought it to life.
They brought it to life. It's God, it's so good. Eric, promise us you'll watch it.
Please.
Yeah, I promise.
That sounded like
that could be tomorrow or 20 years from now.
I'm not committing to a timeline, but I promise that I will watch it at some point.
That sounded like when Joel is like, "That's right."
Yeah.
He's like, "What kind of tone was that, man?"
Yeah, promise.
Oh man. All right. Promise us you watch it. Okay. Next on the rundown, Aliens. Actually, this whole category I'm going to call Aliens for the first time, but also it's the 9th time as the 9th Aliens movie is being announced, and we have their two main leads, pretty much unknowns unless you've seen Mayor of Easttown, which was very good and I recommend.
That's the Hawkeye one?
No, that's the Mayor of Kingstown.
Yep.
I saw Mayor of Easttown. That's with what's her name, right?
Yes.
Titanic.
Yep.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode. It was really good. We just never went back to it.
It's really good. She's like she's a character in it. She's not even one of the main ones, but she was really good at it because
Is she Dora? Merced isn't the one you're talking about? Merced. Yeah. She's Isabel Merced. She played Dora in the live action movie they did.
Oh,
she's adorably charming. I mean, just a super charming young lady.
She played she took care of her family as like a 14-year-old girl. Mm-hmm. That's who she played in Mayor of Easttown.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's okay. Okay,
yeah. She's a great actress. So she's the main character, and we don't know, but there's a rumor that it could be Ripley's daughter. The funny thing about this is this was pitched to Ridley Scott a few years ago.
Yeah.
And at the time, Ridley was kind of just getting off of the Alien Covenant roller coaster ride that it was. And wasn't in it, but then a couple years later called this director and said, "Hey, let's definitely make that movie." And so I don't know if that's a good thing. I think that's something that that's good to know as part of the context as to why this movie is being made, and why it may be a reboot. So Eric, what do you think?
I believe the Alien movies fall into the same category as the Predator movies for me, in that I shamelessly will watch just about anything that they pump out. Although I may hate myself afterwards, or even halfway through the movie. Remember, I think I've told you guys this story one time. I had my appendix out and I was high on painkillers and stuff. And my brother was in town, I think, for something. And he was like, "Hey, do you want to go see Prometheus?" And I was like, "Sure, let's go watch it." So I'm in the movie theater.
We were really excited for this.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You and I talked about it a lot.
Right. And I look over now. My brother's been watching movies with me. My brother and I are 4 years apart in age, and my brother and I have been watching movies together. We never talk to each other in the movies, never, ever, unless it's like something we've seen like a bunch of times,
right.
And then it's not a big deal. But like a first run showing, we'll never speak to each other until the movie's over. I looked over at him, and granted, like I said, I'm high on painkillers because I just had a vital organ removed from my body, and I'm like, I said, "Is this like a joke? Like, why are they taking their helmets off? Like, why? Like, these are like the worst." I looked at my mouth. These are the worst scientists I've ever seen in my life, And he looks at me and he goes, "Yeah," like that. And afterwards, he like talked to my mom. He's like, "Eric talked to me like during the whole movie." He's like, I think he needs to get off the painkillers because there's something he was like was not normal." And I was like, I like disagreed with everything that happened in that movie as it kind of went along. I was like, this is just terrible,
I remember leaving that movie being like, what in the hell?
I remember going in so excited.
Yeah.
So excited.
And they made like every
like,
stupid decision you could possibly make. They made it, and I'm like, yeah, this is, it was a great cast. It was a great cast.
Such a waste.
And it just was terrible. And I was like, oh man, but you know what?
And then did you watch Alien Covenant?
I watched Covenant, and honestly, the first 10 minutes of that was all that I should have watched. I should have just turned it off there. Like when David does his thing, I'm like, hey man, cool. Like that would have been, I mean, it's horrific. He like genocides a whole race of beings, but I was like, I guess if your old man died and was murdered by like these guys, then vengeance is all you got, like go after it. So even if you are a machine, I guess, so but yeah, I was not a fan of Covenant.
Both movies were a mistake.
They both
I can't believe Covenant got made.
They both were disappointing, I'll just say that. So I don't know, this one here, who knows? I was surprised at how good Prey was, and because they kind of went back to basics, and I feel like maybe with this one, because because Merced is not an A-lister, she's not like a big time person, so I have a feeling like maybe this one is kind of the same thing. Let's like go back to, what's the line from Spider-Man where he says we need to go back to formula, like, and I think that's what maybe we need to do here is let's just
back to formula.
Yeah, right. We need to go back to the beginning and just do the fundamentals right. Do the fundamentals right. You don't have to get crazy. You don't have to get cute. Just do the fundamentals that make that alien or that character terrifying. And there's so much about that character that's absolutely terrifying that that you can use. So and you don't have to do a ton of CGI. Like the first movie was all practical effects, and it was
1977
70. It was filmed in like 77, 78, and so there was no CGI, and you could still go back and watch that movie, and it
still holds up.
Still holds up as like, and even Aliens, James Cameron's version was probably one of the best like marine movies of all time, and it's Space Marines, sequel. But still it's like, it's just awesome. But so you've got those two things to go with for like the formula. Just stick to one of those two films and you'll be just fine. And people will be cool with it. So I don't know. We'll see. What do you think?
Just this is one of those things I could do without.
Yeah.
You know, I have it hasn't been long enough I still have that dirty taste in my mouth from Covenant and Prometheus. So I think we need more time.
Someplace else with that, but
I was not.
Yeah.
No.
But I think we need more time before this would even be a thought. And then reboot route would be I think the way you'd have to go at this point. Just because they messed up the story. Well, they didn't mess up the story because they weren't like, you know,
Prometheus,
getting it from somewhere. But
Prometheus really screwed everything up.
Yeah,
because you had this mystery of the space jockey, you know, from the first movie, and even a little bit if you watched the director's cut of Aliens, there's more to that. That's actually pretty cool. So
I'd like to know more about that.
Oh yeah. If you guys haven't picked up, if you haven't been able to find it, I think it's a special. I think it's called the special edition, or it's the director's version of it. There are a couple of added scenes in there that add a lot of context to why Paul Reiser's character is such a piece of shit, and why Ripley's as upset with him as she is. And then there is one scene in the tunnels, because you see him unloading all that equipment and stuff like that. One of the tunnel scenes, and I could see why they cut it off because it really was not necessary, but it is a badass scene of why the aliens don't just come down the tunnel and try and get in that way. They do, but there's a sequence of events that happens that prevent them from getting there, and it is awesome to watch. Like it's cool. Super cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, see if you can find Aliens, the director's edition. It's really good.
The synopsis for this is: in this 9th entry in the immensely popular and enduring film series, a group of young people on a distant world find themselves in a confrontation with the most terrifying life form in the universe. So the group of young people on a distant world is a little bit intriguing. Here's we're 9 movies in. We know nothing about the Wayland Yutani Corporation. I want to know more about what that dude, has been up to.
Yeah.
And you have a great actor for him to build out the universe already in Memento.
Yeah.
Guy Pearce.
I'll look it up.
Guy Pearce.
Yeah, Guy Pearce.
And so you have a chance to really build out something cool within that. I'd love to see a colonial marine TV show.
That would be cool.
I had heard that they were thinking about something that like took place on Earth, like some sort of alien that took place on Earth, and I thought I had heard something about the Marines, but maybe
I was gonna say you don't even need to have it be obviously it would be in the alien universe.
Yeah.
But they don't need to battle aliens in the show. They can battle out, what I'm sure they were battling some other crazy aliens.
Well, they even allude to it. They even allude to it in one of when the two guys are giving each other crap. He says remember that time we had the Arturians or something like that, and the guy goes, yeah. Well, the one you had was a man, and he said, well, it doesn't really matter when they're Arturians, and stuff. And so it's like, well, what does that mean? Like what?
Right.
I want to see that. Yeah. Absolutely. That'd be cool.
Need to see that now.
I need to go back. I need to watch Aliens again. That's for certain.
So from one 80s, I guess Alien is in the 70s, but after that was pretty much a well-known 80s franchise to another 80s franchise reboot. We got our first look at Mr. Jake Gyllenhaal, Jake Gyllenhaal as Dalton from the great movie Roadhouse.
One of my wife's favorite, if you can believe that. One of my wife's favorite movies is Roadhouse.
That's because it's awesome. It's also a great,
glorious. It's a glorious movie. Yeah.
It's like a chick flick in a man's body. Or something.
Yeah.
It really is like this. It's cheesy romance movie. Or a romance novel. But okay, so our first look was of Jake. They were filming him. He's in this updated reboot. He's a UFC fighter, And so he's doing his way in for the UFC fight, and then there's some other footage of him in the octagon with the guy, and he just freaking KOs the dude. I had negative hype for this. Okay, I'm going to state my opinion first, and then I'll ask you, Eric. I actually am now early excited for this, and my God, Jake Gyllenhaal worked out for this.
For sure.
Oh my God, he ate a lot of chicken.
Yeah.
I will get Eric, if you could put up a picture so that
I'll put it up.
Reference on the abdomens that are going on.
Yes.
Whereas I know in the on
He's
the
somehow
trailer,
like
in the other trailer,
his
he'll go
body on our bodies.
abs. How's it? Abs. Abs. God, I love when he does that. He's like, boom.
Yeah.
Abs.
He's
Anyway,
even got that. He's got that triangle that points straight down that the ladies really love. They
it's
love
like a ridge.
Yeah.
They cut out of him. Yeah.
Yeah. You got that
So did
triangle.
this-
I'm sure Meg
up
is
your hype?
probably like, oh yeah.
Technically, we all have it. It's just hidden under a lot.
Well, that's what I
Dormant muscle.
dormant relaxed
Dormant
muscle.
muscle.
Yeah, dormant relaxed muscle. So
Dormant, relaxed muscle.
God bless you, Jean Reno. Yeah.
All right, Eric.
I feel the same as you. I really do. I got
Weird how
caught
that
flat-footed
happens.
on watching it. I was like, is Jake Gyllenhaal doing an MMA thing? Because I mean, I've seen celebrities do like the MMA stuff, So I got caught flat-footed when I first saw the piece.
He was great in Southpaw,
yeah, right. And so I thought, well, maybe he is doing an MMA fight. And but then I just watched it without any sound. I didn't hear it, and so then I watched it again with headphones in, and then that's when I caught the Dalton thing. And you guys had said something to me by then already that this was for the movie, and I was like, oh, okay. Because it was like a legit MMA. They had like a legit MMA fight this past
White
weekend.
was there?
Yeah, Dana White was there, and
So they had so they filmed this at an MMA actual event, and so the crowd is all there and all into it.
It's
and all that
UFC.
stuff. Yeah, UFC. So it was really cool. It was really neat how they did it. So I think that's going to be cool because that's like the backstory to him. I think that's what they're filming there is the backstory.
Yeah.
And so that'll be pretty neat to kind of check out and watch. So
Do you remember who's the bad guy in it?
I love Patrick Swayze. So this is a hard one for me to be like, okay, but
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Like this is a beloved movie in my
yeah. I mean,
in my house.
Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott. I mean, those two dudes.
Thank you. The mustache.
Yeah.
Those two dudes, and I actually loved. Full disclosure, I actually really loved the old rock guy. What was his name? Jeff Healey. The blind dude that played the guitar. I actually had a couple of his. I had one of his CDs when I was younger because he just had such a great sound, And he's
great in the movie too.
Oh, he's so great in the movie because he's and the name's Dalton, like the way he says it, it's like, oh man, that's awesome. So,
totally. More. Do you remember who the bad guy is in this?
I don't.
It's Conor McGregor. And he got
that's right.
jacked for this role as well.
I forgot. Yeah, because they showed clips of him, right? Didn't they?
No, there's just a picture of him
else?
in water. I'll try and find that for you, Eric, to put up too.
And I'm wondering
you can put them up right next to each other because they both got massive for this movie.
So I wonder if he's the bad guy or he's the muscle. Yeah, I imagine he's probably the muscle for.
I don't know who would be God, what's that guy's name? The main bad guy in the first one.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But I bet he's the muscle I bet that's the guy that gets his throat ripped out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And I was thinking to myself, what would be really kind of cool. what would be really kind of cool with that, Ben Gazzara is the guy's name who played Brad Wesley.
Wes,
Um,
Wes.
yeah, but I think it'd be kind of cool to make Conor McGregor mute. Like, don't let him
Don't let him
speak.
talk.
Just
Right.
let him be like the
Just be Dave
silent.
Batista and
Yeah.
Inspector.
Yeah,
He
doesn't-
does look huge.
He doesn't
Oh,
say a
did
word.
you see it?
He's
Right?
huge.
He looks
Holy cow. Huge.
So,
I'll find a picture of that. I'll put that
We'll-
up for both of
we'll
them.
get the bare
Roadhouse.
chested men up here on the rundown so we can have some equal opportunity for the bare chests.
Yeah.
Which means we'll have to find some other bare chests. But
Right.
I just hope he at least says Roadhouse when he goes to kick somebody. Roadhouse.
yeah. What was it called? Roadhouse. That wasn't the name of the bar.
Nope, the Double Deuce.
It was the Double Deuce. That's right.
Double Deuce.
Okay, so next on the rundown we have Batman, but not Batman news.
Hmm?
Yeah.
If you catch my drift.
Yep.
Okay. First one up, we have.
This is
the
actually, I'm really excited for this. When I
the
saw
great-
this, I was like, yes,
I
yes.
know this is like this is. I mean, he. I hope he pulls off like New York Italian. Okay, so Clancy Brown cast as Salvatore Maroni in the Penguin TV show, which is a spin-off series of the Batman with Robert Pattinson, and so it is exciting casting. That is exciting. I love Clancy Brown. Hopefully, he can pull off like a New York Italian and not just like a real Italian. And then the second piece is there is a Batman Beyond movie in development at DC Studios. Eric, you look like you're excited to talk about this, so I'll let you go.
Well, I love Clancy Brown. I mean, he's amazing. He's the Kurgan in the Highlander movie, which is probably one of the greatest, like the best role to ever have, like for any guy to ever have. It's like, man, if that's like one of your first roles, like how do you top that stuff? But he still had some great stuff. I remember he played Sergeant Zim in Starship Troopers, you know, and he does that scene with Busey, with Jake Busey, where the guy says, "Sir, why do we have to learn how to throw knives when, you know, all I have to do is push a button for a nuke?" And he says, "Put your hand on that wall, trooper." You know, and he throws out a knife through his hand. The enemy can't push a button if you disable his hand.
That's so good.
Great stuff. So
How does that movie ever work?
Yeah, Clancy Brown is just a great.
That movie should never have worked.
No, it shouldn't, but it was glorious. It still is glorious. I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Clancy Brown, I'm actually really excited for this. I kind of share your thoughts in how the accent's going to go or how that's going to play out. But
also that means that they're going back in time now that I think about it, because
Salvatore was
just
gone.
in prison. He was in prison, right?
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, he could be in prison in this.
Well, but you know what? Actually, okay. So let's go. Let's gameplay that out. Let's war game that out because basically the Riddler says that everybody was corrupt in that whole thing, which means that most of those cases are going to get thrown out, incling Salvatore Maroni's case is probably going to get thrown out. So he's probably going to come out of prison. So
I like it.
That would make sense.
I like it.
Yeah.
And I like that they'll give the Penguin a stepping stone to being like top tier villain, right? Because and that's what this is great about this TV show, is it'll build that character up a little bit. Ooh, I just got really, really excited for this because I like to see when characters get elevated like that.
Yeah. So now here's the question I have on the Batman Beyond stuff.
Yes.
Because James Gunn came out and was very clear that you're going to have the guy whose voice is in the animation be the guy who's the live action person, and guy or gal, I mean that universally here. Whoever's character is playing it in the movies is going to play the voice in the animated and then in the video games and all that stuff. They're going to link all that stuff together.
Yep.
So does that mean that we are going to get an animated drop first, and that actor is going to be That sounds interesting to me.
No.
Or I think this is going to be a standalone.
I think this is standalone outside the Batman outside of the DC connected universe.
Because maybe they're just going to wait.
I mean, I think it's very doable to do it with whatever Batman they have or whatever they're going to cast for the Batman Brave and the Bold movie that they're doing with, because he's an older Batman in that one.
Yeah.
And it would be a logical next step for him to just play maybe that same Bruce Wayne, because in Batman Beyond, Bruce Wayne is like, he's old. He's too old to.
Yeah.
The whole new Batman.
Yeah, he's too old, so he gets like another kid to be in the bat suit.
Bruce.
He always finds a orphan somewhere.
Like, where am I gonna? How's this gonna sound coming out?
For some reason, nobody's like, has anyone noticed he keeps getting these orphans? I don't know. Something's going on here, right? Robin never ages.
Right. So the only time Batman, I felt like Batman Beyond, like I was obviously a huge Batman the Animated Series fan. And then Batman Beyond came after that. And I felt like I was kind of aged out of not necessarily Batman, but just out of watching a cartoons at that time in my life.
Cartoon. Yeah.
And I didn't watch it, and I kind of had like a bias against it that it wasn't even Bruce Wayne. So I even like was kind of nerdy back then too. So
yeah.
I don't know if I'm like, this news does nothing for me.
Agreed.
But it'll be interesting to see how it connects and what actor they get for it. And so that's about all for me.
I will say though, Clancy Brown terrifies me every time I see him. All I can think of is Gus Gilbert from Pet Sematary 2. And he terrifies me. Killed his own stepson in it.
Such a great actor, man. Such a great character actor. That's a really that's a big score for them.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I know. I always forget he's the guardian.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good call. Yep. Also, Desmond Hume replaces Clancy Brown's character in Lost. In the
that's right. Mm-hmm.
In the Hatch.
I don't know. I'm lost.
Spoiler there, Morgan.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm lost.
All right, we got last in the rundown. Just kind of a, we like to support movie theaters here on the rundown.
We love them.
A little bit of some updates coming to your theaters. I know the first one will excite Carson, so I'll start with you, Morgan. Super Mario Brothers is going to release 2 days earlier. Now,
I mean, that's. I mean, if it was like a week or something, like, yeah, but 2 days, I'm like, all right, so it doesn't really change my plans.
It seemed weird. It seemed weird to me that they bumped it up 2 days, but
like that is weird. But yeah, I mean, good. I get to see it a little sooner.
It'll be ready, and they were like,
I mean, I'm
2 more days of revenue
now. I think that Super Mario Brothers is going to be $1 billion movie.
I agree. I agree with you.
Billion with a B.
Yeah.
That's big. Oh man, that's big time.
It's a Wednesday open.
I would love to see it. Yeah, Wednesday open.
A month from yesterday. 1 month.
Why would they do that? Like, are they allowed to count Wednesday into the weekend
Easter
or something?
It's Easter weekend that weekend, so they're afraid people might be not wanting to go to the theater on Easter weekend, so they're trying to maximize revenue and release it 2 days early.
Yep.
That's my
get a bigger opening weekend.
Best capitalist guest.
Yep. Jackson's pretty excited about that. I told him about that the other day. I was like, hey, it's coming out 2 days early, buddy.
Yeah.
Not that we're going to see it 2 days early, but you're.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Just letting you know some facts here.
Yeah.
Carson might have a doctor's visit.
It's true. Jackson may have
That's the best time to go. Nobody's there.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I want to take the girls to this. I don't know about Joey, but Penny for sure.
Hopefully AMC doesn't make me start paying more for better seats.
Just don't pick the middle. I'm an aisle guy. I like being on the aisle. So
I like the middle.
Yeah, I like the middle also.
I want the most optimum.
Yep.
I don't like people around me.
I mean, that makes sense. I don't want them around me either, but
the other update to movie theaters, and I'm actually very excited about this because I will be taking my family to this. This year is the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, and it will be re-released into movie theaters. Don't know when, but
May 20th. Oh, okay. Sorry.
they're going to announce. Unless they already announced, I thought they were going to announce it at Star Wars Celebration. But if they've already announced,
Yeah.
Coming out May 4th.
Yeah, April 28th is what I was seeing, but that's on the Dolby website, so maybe
that would be awesome. So maybe they're wanting to do it with in conjunction with. That would be smart of them to do it with
ramp up
with Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah.
We also haven't gotten any Star Wars on the big screen in a while, so if you've never gotten the chance to see Return of the Jedi in theaters, now is your chance to go see it.
It is the only one that I remember seeing in the movie theater.
In the theater, yeah.
I don't think I saw it. I mean, I was only a year old, so I guarantee you I didn't see Star Wars. But we were living in Oklahoma at the time in '80 when Empire came out, and my dad said he did take me to that, and I think I was 4 years old at that point. So, and then, but I do remember. I remember standing in line for Return of the Jedi to go see it, and we were all so excited. And then I remember the Rancor, and I remember the Ewoks, and that's pretty much my only memory of that of that movie. So I think I was 7.
The beginning of real proof that Stormtrooper armor does nothing.
Yeah,
yeah. I Return of the Jedi is the first Star Wars movie I saw. It's the one I liked the most as a kid growing up.
Yeah.
It's got its faults, but man, it's still like original trilogy Star Wars, and that's still as magical.
Do we know if it's
as it gets?
It's
is it the
it's
original
still special
or like
the
no, it'll be the
updated
special. You'll never see the original.
There is a version out there. You can find it.
You can find it. They'll never release it.
But they'll never release it. Yeah.
I think George Lucas actually not put it into law, but put it into nope, that's never gonna happen. Something
any
like
of
that.
my movies ever.
Which is baloney, because you go back and you look at the special effects now. All right, so here you did them in '97. If I go back and look at them, they're junkier than the original special effects were. They don't fit. They don't fit in the movie because you shoehorned them in.
Yeah. They look so out of place. Yeah. But when Luke man, that's such a good Luke movie, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
When he is going into the Rancor's mouth and the Force theme plays, and knowing everything you know about the Force now,
I'm mad
when the Force theme gets played. It's like speaking to you at that moment.
How mad do you think Obi-Wan and Yoda were when Anakin became a Force ghost but got to be 20 years old instead of the age he was when he died? You think they were like, what the hell?
You know what? I have recently heard a really good argument against that.
That's when he was Last Jedi.
That's when he was Last Jedi. And whatever. I think that it's good.
But then it's what then he didn't return as a Jedi in the end.
Yeah. Well, who knows? I don't know. I don't know how this goes. The Force is like, I don't want to look at that face,
Yeah, the Force is like,
so
we need to fix that.
Let's get to the trailer train. This is a good trailer train.
One little piece I forgot to put on. I forgot to put it in there.
Eric,
but
your last minute updates.
Yeah, last minute update, just trivia, because we're talking about bringing movies back from they're on their anniversaries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the movie Lethal Weapon was dropped on this date, March 6th in 1987.
Thank you, Richard.
Arguably the second best Christmas movie ever made. So we all know what the first.
First. Anybody says differently.
Yeah.
Tell you what.
Like and subscribe.
That March, a good year. We got that, and we got this gift to the world.
What did you just point at?
When is your birthday? Happy.
What did you just point at?
Yeah.
The
When
audio. people
when
don't
is
know
your
what you're
birthday?
Oh yeah, pointing at myself. Sorry, audio people.
Yeah.
Pointing at myself.
It's good.
The 14th.
14th. All right.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's also another holiday.
$15 million budget for Lethal Weapon, and
That's incredible.
it raked in $120.2 million, and it was
That is incredible.
I'm pretty sure that's the budget for Thanos.
yeah,
I'd love
right.
to see a movie that made us around that movie.
Oh my gosh, freaking love Riggs and
I'd
Murtaugh.
just like to see movies that made us come back. Like, did that show go away? I looked the other day.
Yeah, I think
What
they
show,
moved
Lethal
on.
Weapon?
The creator of it moved on, and so they had done another series that they were looking at, but or another group came in and kind of did the narrations and did some different stuff, but I don't know if that's going to come back. But it's too bad because I agree. I totally love that series. It's so good.
Yeah.
And by the way, as a follow up to our nerd box question that we had about the best romantic relationship, and
right,
Riggs and
yeah.
Murtaugh were my
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
pick, but my
Yeah.
second was When a Man Loves a Woman. So I posed that question to my wife. I said, what's your favorite romantic movie? Like, what couple do you think is like the best? And she goes, well,
Yeah.
she said I love Pearl Harbor. Like, I love the relationship between Jack or I can't remember who the characters are in Pearl Harbor. She's like, I really love that. But she's like, if I really had to think about it, she goes, it's When a Man Loves a Woman. Like, that's my favorite one. And I was like, man, I love you. Like, I was like,
you guys are married for a reason.
I was like,
Kindred spirits.
yeah, I love you. Like, I was like, gosh,
Sweet.
you're freaking amazing. I mean, not because she had the right trivia answer to the question.
You're like, I finally now I know why.
Now I know. Yeah,
Finally.
it was just funny.
Answers.
Just 10 years later.
Going.
The Pearl Harbor love story is really good, and it's really tragic because it felt like she should have just stayed with Josh Hartnett, but then he dies, and then she has to go back to Ben Affleck, and I don't know if
Rafe Macaulay.
It's an interesting love story
Rafe?
surrounded by a bad movie.
Well, I will always have a. I love that.
I was gonna say, man, like I know,
I love that movie. I love.
I
that
know
movie.
people
You
bag
can
on Pearl
you can
Harbor,
still love
but
it, even though it's bad.
Dude,
I still
Love
think
that
it's
movie.
got one of the greatest CGI scenes I've never seen anything like it. We've talked about it before,
with the bomb.
but that bomb that drops
That
is just
it's
one
incredible.
of the. When I saw that in the trailer, I was like,
that whole invasion scene is incredible, dude.
And then after
I
that,
had
it's
never
like, what?
seen anything like that in my life, but when they
Yeah.
put that in the trailer and it was just like, oh my gosh, I was like, oh my gosh, that is the coolest thing ever,
Yeah. I mean, Michael Bay had a prime, dude, and his prime was freaking up there.
Yeah.
So speaking of really, he always released really good trailers. Speaking of really good trailers, starting off with a new movie on Amazon Prime starring Rob Stark himself. Rob
King of the North.
Rob Stark,
Robert
the
Doss.
King of the North, the first. Well, not the first King of the North, but in the Game of Thrones TV show, he's
Not
the
for
first.
long.
Rob Stark, Richard Madden, and Priyanka Chopra. Jonas, I guess.
yeah.
Don't forget
that.
she got married to a Jonas brother.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And does she look good in this movie? Maybe a little by the numbers type movie, but I was entertained by it, and I think this will be an easy movie for
For sure.
mommy and daddy night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
This is I'll shut the brain off. Watch it.
Yep.
It's James Bond with some sci-fi and some bullet train. Like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Yep.
Yeah. Eric.
Yeah, same. I found no fault in the trailer. It looks like a fun, action deal with a little bit of mystery in there and a little bit of sci-fi. I think so. We'll see. I think we talked about it a little bit earlier. The trailer had me all the way up until almost the very end, and then there's a CGI scene where I was like,
he's like skiing and
yeah, and I was like, oh,
that close up was like
we probably should have left that
1980s
particular
screen
clip
green.
on the floor. Let's tighten that.
You know what? I
CGI
watched
up.
it. I watched the Ghosted trailer first, and I feel like if I watched the Citadel trailer first, I would have liked the Citadel trailer more, because the Ghosted one,
Right.
you know, you got action rom-coms here back to back watching these two, and Ghosted looked like the better movie.
Yeah.
Like on every level, but Citadel still looks like something it to be in when it's like, what are we gonna watch tonight? Well,
Yeah.
there's a Citadel movie.
Yeah.
And Stanley Tucci. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Like,
Stanley
Citadel
Tucci.
looks like a made for Netflix movie. Yeah.
It does look like a movie.
Like, you know, like,
It's a
oh yeah,
Netflix,
that's a
yeah.
Netflix
Like a
movie,
Red
yeah.
Notice
The
type
outlet mall.
Yeah, like
Yeah, the outlet mall.
The outlet mall.
So Amazon Prime is pumping out some
Some outlet
entertainment.
mall stuff. Yeah.
The next trailer is a Disney Plus original of a theme park ride, right? Is that where it originally was?
Yep,
Haunted
yep.
Mansion. The trailer for Haunted Mansion came out.
I think it was
I
one
was
of the
not a
original
fan.
rides. One of the
I
original
know I was
things.
like in the minority here that I did not like it. So you guys take it away on this one.
Mork.
I just think it looks fun. I mean,
Yep.
I know Meg said she didn't like the CGI. I really didn't think it was that bad. Like,
Yeah.
it kind of looked good. It looks funny. It looks like it's going to be a good story. I think it'll be. I think it looks better than the Eddie Murphy one.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. Yep.
Yeah, like I actually look forward to watching this.
This you had said it earlier in the previous trailer. You were talking about, you know, disconnect your brain and just enjoy it.
Oh yeah,
and that's how I looked at this one. I'm like, this looks like just some good old fashioned fun, you know. And yeah, so I thought it looked pretty good. Owen Wilson makes me laugh every time. Just
I know
pretty much
it would be hard
yeah.
not to watch Owen Wilson and Rosario Dawson.
And Rosario Dawson. Yeah.
Wait till the shock twist that this is just a tie into Loki season 2.
That'd be sick. You haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp yet, have you? Quantumania, Mark?
No, I mean I know how it ends and all about it.
You know oh my god. Oh my god. Who does this? Is that Kevin Hart? Dead Ringers is the next trailer. I was entertained by this. This is a remake of a 1980s movie, I believe.
I think it was with James Spader.
Not James Spader.
Iron.
Jeremy Irons. Yep.
Jeremy Irons.
You're right. Yep.
Hans Gruber's brother. What was it? Simon Gruber? Simon.
Yeah.
What was his name? What was his full name though? Anyway.
Simon Peter.
Mr. Gruber.
Krieg. Yeah, Krieg. Mr. Anyway, so you're not up for this Dead Ringers remake here, starring Rachel Weisz, Eric?
No, I do like Rachel Weisz, but no, I'm a pass. Hard pass on this one. So
Mark?
I'm interested.
I'm interested.
I never saw the original. So I'm going new into this. I do like me some Rachel Weisz. Always have.
Yep.
Especially watch The Mummy again.
Good.
One, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see more. I want to see a real
Apple
trailer.
Plus shows are really like getting some acclaim right now.
Yeah, I want to see a real trailer, and then I'll go from there. But I could. This seems like something that like my wife would be interested in too. You know, so.
It is. You can expect some weirdness. It's twins that pretty much share their same life. They share the same job. They're like surgeons or something. They share lovers. They share everything. And so that's a little bit, you know, depraved. How depraved will this show go? You know,
depravity.
Yeah. How deep into depravity?
You know what's fun about
Meg, help us out.
Yeah.
You know what's fun about awards season is you get interviews with people all the time. You know, like they have all these different interviews popping up, you know. So like and one that I've deeply enjoyed, to go back to your mummy thing, is that Brendan Fraser people are talking to Brendan Fraser and asking him questions about all these different things. And he told a story the other day about how he almost died on the set of The Mummy one time, because there was a scene where he has a rope around his neck and he's being hung, and he had to do this scene like over and over again. And I guess in between one of the takes, the guy who was holding the rope pulled it higher than he had in any of the other takes, and he basically almost
hung him.
He almost hung him right there and stuff. And so it's like, man,
that was the best scene.
That was pretty crazy. Yeah, right.
Trailer shot.
Yeah. So that's a cut. Hey, Brennan, suck it up, man. Let's go.
Great job, Brennan. That was really like you were.
I told you the note.
Like you were
actually trying to kill him.
Like you were really choking out there.
Yeah. So anyhow, good stuff.
Yeah, and after Severance, I'm willing to look at Apple Plus more. Again, just trying to get Severance out there a little bit more.
They've thrown a lot of stuff out there. They had the Finch movie with Tom Hanks. They had, of course, they're responsible for the Ted Lasso stuff. So
that has really helped much.
Yeah,
just coming out.
My birthday party is this Saturday, and it is Ted Lasso themed.
Nice. That's so cute that you're still doing themed parties, man. I'm so proud.
I know. I'm debating.
Do you do party
themed parties?
Do I do party? My actual mustache.
Do you do gift bags too for all the adults? Like you give them like a shot glass in each one, and
hold up, Morgan. Are you asking right now? If you should shave into a mustache? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Oh, I know, but she threatens me with divorce every time.
You know what? Call her bluff. Call her bluff.
I know that's true. She hasn't divorced me yet.
And she can divorce you on your birthday? I don't think so.
Oh, come on. At least probably the day after. It's going to take a few days to fill out the paperwork and all that stuff. Those things don't move quickly.
That's true.
And you know what? She doesn't even know. Okay, listen. Mustaches, as you get older, somehow they just make you look better.
Yeah.
Especially when you're dressed like a coach.
Do you have any aviators?
I'm not paid by the big mustache corporation.
I don't.
Can send you a pair. I got an extra pair right here.
I know.
I got some right here.
Those are good ones.
Yeah, I figured I would just go to my local Giant and get those $5 ones.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
How do you do Ted Lasso without a mustache? You don't. Okay,
I know.
That's a rhetorical question.
I thought about going as Coach Beard.
Last trailer on our trailer train.
Back to the trailers.
Is another Apple Plus show coming out that might benefit from the current apocalypse show running the world right now. Stay tuned for the Nerd Rundown recaps. Silo, starring Rebecca Ferguson.
So hot.
Just, you know what? I'm in.
Yep.
Rebecca Ferguson. Yes, I'm in. Thank you.
This looks really cool.
Yes. It does.
Yeah.
It looks very.
This looks really cool.
It's called Silo. I don't know if I said it. Silo.
Yep. It's called Silo. Yep. It looks like all humanity's been stuffed into a underground bunker. Called the Silo, and
like a silo.
Yep.
It gave me Matrix Reloaded vibes. Zion.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because they're down there in the trailer like Zion. It's like, but the trailer for this is talking about how nobody knows why they're down there anymore.
Oh yeah, there's a big twist to this whole thing. Yeah.
It's very interesting because you would think obviously they were whoever went down here first for a reason.
Yeah.
That there would be a library or something, something where they kept some documents remember when we came down here because of zombies or whatever it is. But I'm excited to see what the twist is because that's what they're trying to figure out, why they're there, and people are trying to stop them, and it looks like they might get out at some point.
Yeah.
You know what this reminds me of? And we were just talking about Michael Bay.
Oh yeah, The Island.
The Island. Okay, I was like, what is it called? The Island. Yeah, it totally gives me the Island
McGregor and ScarJo.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Honestly, one of the most beautifully shot movies.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Total Michael Bay movie. I mean, some of the deaths in that movie are incredible. That movie is so good. It's so underrated.
Yeah.
And it's got that Michael Bay humor in it. I don't think that this will be in that vein.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It gave me if you watch The Island, it's these people that are I think they're harvested.
Yeah,
they're clones.
Yeah, they're clones.
So when their original copy needs an organ.
Yeah, they're organ donors.
They gotta clean up on aisle 5 over here.
Yeah, they're volunteer.
Aisle 5. I need an extra kidney.
That's not where this show will parallel it. It will parallel it in the sense of like those clones think that they live. I think they live like on an island or another planet somewhere, and they're waiting to go to their paradise, which is when they have to like be given the organs.
Yeah, that's when that's
and then they
start to harvest.
The clones get out. Ewan McGregor and ScarJo get out, and they figure out that the world is totally fine, and it's not they're not on this island. I don't know, right? I need to go back and watch that movie.
Send in the clones.
So
yeah,
if it gives you island vibes, that's a good thing. Send in the clones. Send in the clones. Send in the nerd box. Meg sent in a fun question. What's your favorite thing to hate watch? For a while, this is her answer is what she said. She says, for a while, my husband, who, again, shout out to Johnny, great nerd box question.
Great nerd box question, yeah. Mm-hmm.
For a while, my husband and I loved, that is bolded by Meg, to hate 90 Day Fiance on TLC. It's so stupid. It's so obviously scripted, and we absolutely love that garbage. Also loved hating Love It or List It. I don't think you can hate Love It or List It. We don't have as much time to waste on trash TV now, but for anyone who's looking for something to hate watch, those are my top suggestions. Okay, Meg. Okay. I don't know why you have to hate Love It or List It. I love that show. I'll start with you, Morgan. What's your hate?
So my go-to used to be now
to kiss watch.
we haven't watched this in a while since the host of it was fired.
Oh, I know exactly what you're.
But before then, it was The Bachelorette and The Bachelor.
No, and BIP. Come on, don't.
Bachelor.
The best of them.
Everybody loves Bachelor in Paradise. I mean, I was doing Bachelor brackets at one point. Like it got bad. It
got real bad. It got so good. It got so good. Like it was.
That's what it was.
Who's the next Bachelor?
It was like intense.
What?
And then I would say my second hate watch is Riverdale.
Ooh, Riverdale.
My wife watches it, and I would watch it, and then I just kept watching. And I was like, God, I hate everything about this. It is so dumb, but I can't stop watching it. I'm pretty sure in the newest season they time travel. I don't know what's going on. Like, it is just so weird. I can't wait to watch it and hate it and talk about how dumb it is.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. I do love when you make your passive aggressive comments about Riverdale. Eric, I know you guys got some trash shows on the
Stacy
must watch list.
Yeah, Stacy's the trash TV watcher. She loves all that Housewives of like Hazard County or whatever. Like she watches the boat ones, Below Deck.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what we used to watch together because we haven't done that in a long time. We don't really watch any TV anymore. We just watch like DVR stuff. Like we always just watch like people are like, hey, you should watch this, and so we just watch DVR stuff. So we really don't watch anything like live anymore.
Hey, you should.
Stace watches The Challenge now. She watches The Challenge like all the time. It's on Pluto. It's on Pluto TV. It's like Road Rules.
People are watching Pluto TV.
Oh man, actually, Pluto TV is really, really cool. It's free, and
I know
it has like some phenomenal reruns on there, like just old stuff. Like they just added an I Love Lucy channel on there, which is great. They have a Star Trek: The Next Generation channel. They have Survivor and Amazing Race.
Bank
and all that stuff.
coming.
So I guess that's
you're not doing a good job selling it to me.
Yeah. They have a cops, like a 24/7 cops channel, Mystery Science Theater. Dude, like
there we go.
Addams Family, the original Addams Family. Like I'm just like every
X-Men the animated series.
I don't know if that's on there or not. I don't think so because I don't think Paramount owns that one. So. Flip or Flop. If I have to go back in time to one of those trashy shows that I hated to watch, but we watched it.
Was
anyhow.
That they got divorced now?
Yeah, the Tarek guy. I just could not.
Can't stand him.
He was just so annoying. He was so annoying. So.
I'm like, how is this guy making millions, like doing this show.
Yeah.
How do people like him? And she, she wasn't, she was good to look at, but man,
Yeah.
she was annoying AF too. So
Yep. We used to watch that one. And then what was the other one with the
Fixer Upper?
twins? Yeah, well, okay. So I'm not going to put Fixer Upper in that because I actually really enjoy.
I really
Fixer
enjoyed
Upper, and I don't think
really
it's a show that I like
Listed.
love to hate. It's not a, because that's the question, right? Is like this is like stuff that you hate watch. Fixer Upper was never that way.
No,
for me,
no, that was great.
I love watching that one.
In fact,
still do.
When Banana was in the hospital pregnant, TLC had a schedule. Monday night was like Fixer Upper. And Tuesday night was Love It or List It. Wednesday was The Brothers.
The Brothers, yeah. I think that's another one that I dislike.
Jonathan and something.
Yeah, sure.
Property Brothers.
Property Brothers, yeah.
Property Brothers, yeah.
And so that wasn't as good as the first two. And then it was like House Hunters, which was okay on Thursday night. And then Friday night was like some Chip and Joanna wannabes on Friday night. So we would watch something else. But it was funny how it was like, oh yeah, tonight's Monday night. It's Fixer Upper in the hospital. Yeah. But it's funny because it's like a Venn diagram over here. I went crazy Bachelor, and then we've been crazy. What channel was that? HGTV before. So I don't. And right now we only
channel.
The funny thing is the way things are set up. We don't watch cable. So,
I don't. That's how we are. We don't really watch anything.
Yeah.
If we're watching something, we're watching it through streaming, which means we're choosing to watch it.
Right.
Now we are like, I wouldn't say laboring through the end of Money Heist right now. We stopped it and we recently returned to it, and getting back into it was easier this time than this previous time. But I don't know. You just and the way the world is now, you can pick what you want to watch, and sometimes it sucks, but it's not like you'd go back to it,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because when Fixer Upper came on, so Stacey and I were building this house that we live in now, and Stacey said, I want like the granite countertops, I want the dark cherry cabinets and all this stuff. And I was like, are you sure? I said, because I really like this like white subway tile look behind the things, and like white cabinets and like a big farmhouse sink and like all this different stuff. And I was like, and she's like, no, we're not doing that, And then like a week or two later, like I had picked out all this stuff on House, and I was like, I really like this look. Like I think it's a really cool look, and I think it's like I think the granite stuff has just run its course. Like I feel like that type of interior has run its course, and I think we're going to build a house that's out of date already, And so she's like, no. And then Fixer Upper comes on like a week or two later, and Joanna Gaines does everything to this house that I've been saying that we should do to our new house. And all of a sudden Stacey goes, look how amazing this thing is. And I'm like, did I not just say like last week that this is what, like, look at my
great idea, honey.
Look at my house board. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, great idea.
Wow. Yeah. I like that. That's a great idea.
What are you going to do at that point?
Come on, man.
It's the only way you win is
what movie is that? There's one of those where like I literally just said that exact same thing, but you didn't say it like he said it,
Yeah.
I can't remember what that is.
What is that? Yeah. Say like
was that? Did you watch? You didn't watch the Ashton Kutcher one? No. Oh, I did. What was that in? Was that a Last of Us that we all watched? No.
But there was something. But he did.
I know, we got to think of that.
He did like this, where he like did the. Yeah, you said it, but he did the finger thing, and I can't remember. Gosh, if you guys remember what that is in the comments, that's gonna bug me.
Yeah, that's gonna really bug me.
Yeah.
That, or we'll hit stop recording, and then we'll be like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like the podcast brain has been lifted.
Right.
Oh man, fun rundown. Looking forward to going back and listening to this. Some really big time news. I'm actually very happy about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
Looking forward to Ghosted. I really am happy about this Roadhouse reboot now. Or at least I'm happy that I've been changed to have some excitement about it. So keep it at that. And Clancy Brown's always win for me. So
Yes, sir.
good stuff. We are now going to go recap the latest episode of The Last of Us TV show on HBO Max.
Yes.
Which is name of the episode is escaping me right now.
I don't have it. Actually, you know what? Hang on, I will find it real quick.
I'm thinking of what it is next week, which is when you find the light or something. But this episode 8 is really good one. I'll just say that, and I'm looking forward to recapping it. Looking forward to hearing more talk about a tough Joel. I'm pretty sure he's going to talk about a tough Joel.
I'm talking about tough Joel tonight.
And
that sounded really creepy, but I didn't mean it that way.
Sure you didn't.
You got a
Talking
pretty
about tough Joel tonight.
you got a pretty mouth there.
You got a pretty mouth.
Anyway, we'll have the title of the episode on the Nerd
When We
Rundown
Are in
recap. So
Need.
you know what? We're gonna
When we
hold
are
it.
in need.
When we are in need.
Oh, I was gonna say
makes sense,
we're gonna
yeah.
hold it, so you have to go listen
Sorry.
to the.
But
to
you should
find out.
listen to the episode because it's going to be dynamite. This
Dynamite.
is probably my favorite episode to this point in the season.
Oh, good. Yeah, I can't wait to talk about it. Let's go hop on
Yeah,
there
we gotta
and talk
go.
about it. And with that being said, we will see you all next week on the Nerd Rundown.
See ya. Bye.
Deuces. Roadhouse.
It's double deuces.
The name,
Double deuces.
the name's Deuces.
The name's Deuces.